I love you, Daddy.
I love you too.
I want to
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market Show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning, and hope you had a great day yesterday. All right, we got some action happening here in the SPY. As you can see, let's get right to it. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So let's get to right to the SPY. We got some action happening here. Fill us in.
Yeah, man, we're popping up here. Apparently, there was some news that came out on Gilead's remdesivir. There's some economic data out this morning. Spies popping up. VIX is dropping. Boeing had results this morning all around, and then we got a really busy day. I want to remind a couple of people before I forget right here, and I'll try to throw it in again on Boeing. Boeing had their earnings report this morning, and their loss was a little bit wider than expected, but their conference call starts at 10:30 Eastern, so right in the middle of the market, an hour into the market. So if you're trading it, be very careful during that time. Also, more importantly than that, even we've got the FOMC meeting coming to a conclusion today at 2 o'clock. We will have their decision on rate policy out, and then at 2:30, Jerome Powell's press conference. And I've mentioned it time and time again, but he has an ability to seem to really tank the markets whenever he speaks. Not saying it's going to happen today. It might be the exact opposite, but you and I have traded him before right then at 2:30, and it often sorry about that. It often makes the market kind of crazy when he talks. So
Yeah, we've seen that so many times. It's not even funny. So we'll definitely look out for that. Thanks, Norm. All right, guys. So let's get into what we have today. Again, we have a lot of green on the screen today, as you can see here. There's just again the markets are really have been pretty strong the last couple of days. You can see just coming back nicely. I gotta tell you, looking at this a couple of weeks ago, never in a million years would I thought we'd be sitting here at 290 already. You know, just how fast we have bounded from this bottom here, 220, always all the way down to 219. So just interesting the way that's working out, guys. Let's get to our list this morning. Let's look at our gappers. Let's look at what's in the red. So we have Zoom in the red here. Let's take a look at that. And I sound quiet. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just make sure.
I didn't want to. I didn't have the data yet. For some reason, my feeds are running a little bit behind. But GDP came out right at 7:30 for first quarter. It's down 4.8% in first quarter versus 3.5 expected. So just a heads up there.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man. All right, bring the gain up a little bit, guys. That just sound a little bit better. All right. So here's what we have, guys. We have Zoom in our list. Let's get started with that. Let's get our daily chart at the moment here. Let's get our 5 minute going. So Zoom has been just extremely active. We had this crazy drop here. Remember, guys had a good day here. Gapped up nicely, and then during the midday, afternoon, somewhat, we had this huge drop. Consolidated the last couple of days, and now we are down here 4% with 267 dollars. So again, worth watching. I think Zoom is one of those stocks that has been very active. We'll see what it does today. Possible continuation, guys. We're losing this level here.
Carlos,
Five. Yep.
you've got some kind of crazy echo going on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's causing that. Hold on a second. All right. Hopefully that is.
For the technical difficulties.
Yeah. Hopefully that is better. I think it has something on that should have been actually off. All right. Yeah. Let's see if that works, guys. Let me know if it's better. All right. So here's what we have, guys. So we have Zoom for sure on our list. Then we have APRN. Let's keep a track on that APRN this morning. This one not looking all that great. Does have some volume. We are down 21%. And again, so this one is just. This one has been active. This is the one that took off a couple of weeks ago, as you can see here. It hasn't done much for the last couple of days. It's really consolidating, just chopping around in this area. We are down nicely to 21%. Worth giving a shot and taking a look at that. Norm, let me know in the comments because I can read them right now if we are good on the echo over at YouTube, and in our chat, let us know as well if we sound a lot better. All right, guys. We are constantly, by the way, trying different stuff, new software, and just trying to upgrade our pre-market show. So there's some growing pains that we go through on our end, the back end, as me and Nor prepare for this. But we guarantee that we will definitely figure this out and get it going as smooth as possible. Here's mRNA just gapping down, 2.3. We have some volume here, 104, 116, just starting to creep up. mRNA, look at the daily, has been interesting over the last couple of days, just kind of chopping around in this area after having a nice, beautiful gap. But before this, the daily was amazing, had a beautiful daily. Now we're not getting that on mRNA. So a big drop here this morning, to almost 2%. But the most interesting thing on it is losing this area here. So definitely worth taking a look at. Now, Norm, any specific news on these stocks that are red today when the market is obviously nice and green this morning?
Well, what I'm seeing on is Pfizer is they've got a partnership with another company, BNTX. It's been on the watch list, developing a vaccine they say could be ready as early as fall. So I think that's what's hitting Moderna, is that they could miss out on this, and that's essentially all they've been trading on recently. So.
All right. So we'll take a look at that again. We're looking at it now. Another drop on it. At the moment, going down to 3. So we got some good activity out of Moderna this morning. Let's take a look at what's gapping up, guys. Obviously, we have quite a bit on here. Leading the way, it looks like some of these cruise lines are taking a nice big pop today. We have Norwegian up here. We have CCL, RCL. We have some airlines, American Airlines. We have of JetBlue. We have, I thought I saw United. So again, let's take a look at those and what's happening there. Obviously, the markets are doing well, so they're definitely taking advantage of that. Let's start with the cruise lines. NCLH. Let's start with that one. This one is gapping up about 10%, guys, after having a great day yesterday as well. So a nice 10% pop here, getting over some areas of resistance a couple of days ago in here. So again, this looks good. Some good volume, 615 at the moment. So we'll definitely put this one on here, and then we'll pick the best one out of all of these when we get to that stage. Here's CCL. Let's just go to all the cruise lines right now. CCL as well, 8.2, a lot more volume, 1.6 million shares traded. Very, very similar to what NCLH is doing. So we'll take a look at that one. RCL is the other one. These three have been the really top ones that have been pretty active. Now RCL, a lot less volume, still gapping up 5.7, not as much as the other ones on here. But we'll keep an eye on it. We're probably going to go with either CCL or NCLH this morning. Both of those are trading.
So
really
these
well.
these are popping. It's a continuation from yesterday. Norwegian NCLH came out with a business update, talked about their cash burn, which popped it during the market yesterday. So that's what we're continuing off of this morning.
Yeah, so again, it's just good news all around for these guys. Let's look at the airlines. So we have
Well, it's less bad news. Let's call it that.
yeah, less bad news, correct. Here is a Spirit, guys. Spirit is up 11.6. They're leading the way this morning with a big pop. Again, all of these with a great day yesterday. Most of them getting over this area of resistance here, so that's nice. Not as much volume, and you can tell here the way this is popping up. It's a little bit choppy the way it's doing it. You can see it has some really pretty nice gaps here. That could be due to the volume. So hopefully that picks up. We can get some really clean trading into the intraday. But I think this one will be definitely worth watching. Let's take a look at American Airlines this morning. What's happening there? Also a nice big pop as well. A lot more volume, guys. Look at this, 2 million shares traded right now. So we'll definitely keep American Airlines here. Let's look at JetBlue, and then Norm, you can fill us in on some of these airlines and what's going on there. JetBlue also got some a decent pop here, up 7%. Not as much volume, but starting to get going, 217. So we'll add JetBlue here. We'll fine tune this and keep, maybe one or two of these. And then next we have all the way down here United. Let's see what United is up to this morning. They are up 5.7, some decent volume, 720. Although they have less volume than the other two, than American Airlines, they seem to have a good pre-market activity this morning, a nice flow to it, right? See how these connections are happening on the candle. So this looks pretty clean on United. I like the way this is building up. Compared to like a JetBlue high was earlier today. American Airlines also wasn't all that clean. United seems to have a nice chart. Overall,
Carlos, is there anything you can do to pump your gain on YouTube?
Let me check, guys. Hold on.
Apparently, my voice is loud and normal, and yours is very quiet.
All right, let me see if I could do something about that. I could pump the gain in my mic, but I just don't want to blow anybody's ears off here.
No, you sound fine.
Okay, so hopefully that's better, guys. Again, I don't know. I don't want to put it too loud because then it'll just start sounding too distorted. So hopefully that is going across good there. All right.
Just want to note, Gilead, I mentioned earlier, they had some good news that came out. They've been halted. They're halted till 9 a.m. Eastern, I believe.
Okay. All right, so I have let's take a look at Gilead now. Yeah, see there. So this is based on news, right? Because there's obviously not that much volume right now. So
It's a news halt.
okay, all right, we'll throw it on here. See what's going on with them. We'll come back to them. All right, guys. So as far as airlines, Norm, any news on these guys? What's going on in that area?
Maybe somebody has something better. It just looks like a continuation to me, but I have
Mm-hmm.
not been really digging into these as much as many of the others. So
Okay. All right, so we'll leave that as that. But again, they're popping pretty nice today. They got some really good volume, so we'll definitely want to keep an eye on those. All right, let's take a look at let's move this over. We got some tickers here not showing. This is this is Google, but let's see what this actually looks like. So right now they're up 8.6 this morning. Again, this stock is obviously very high price stock. I don't trade this at all, but you can tell here they got some activity happening today. Obviously popping up pretty nice after being down quite a bit yesterday. So nice big drop, and today they're up 8%, which is a lot for this type of stock. The volume right now is pretty
yeah,
light, only 100K. What's going on with these guys today?
they had earnings last night. It's I really don't dig into Google earnings
Yeah,
as quickly as others because I'm not going to trade $1,000+ $1,300 stock that moves like crazy. So
yeah.
they had
Uh,
decent revenue numbers, but they talked about slowdown in ad revenue. They got hit pretty hard, but then they think there might be some light at the end of the tunnel and things coming back. So
okay. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that, guys. But again, most likely we're not going to be watching this, so I'm not going to add it to our list. All right, let's take a look down to a few more. Let's look at BA. Let's look at Macy's and see what's happening there. Let's take a look at BA. So BA has a good pre-market right now. 2 million shares traded at the moment. They are up 5.8 with a decent pre-market activity here. So definitely worth watching. Again, they've been consolidating nicely above this 130 area, which is a good support area for BA. We've seen it bounce off of that several times. Obviously, with the markets doing well, they're up as well nicely this morning with some good volume. We'll take a look at them. Let's take a
they
look at
released
them. Yep, go ahead.
they released earnings this Boeing released earnings this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Their loss was a little bit less than expected. Their revenues missed though. And just a reminder, their conference call is at 10:30 Eastern, so an hour after the market opens. In case you're trading this, expect some potentially unexpected moves at that time.
Gotcha. Thanks, man. So we'll take a look at that again. Looking pretty good right now. They're definitely like whatever they heard yesterday in their earnings. So we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, guys, let's take it over to you, Norm. Do you have anything else that you like besides what's on this list already? Pretty much being dominated by some airlines and some cruise lines here. But anything else aside from this that you like?
Sorry, man. I've been dealing with all these issues this morning
No
and haven't
worries,
had a
man.
chance to really dig in anything else. I'm kind of already. I've traded not Google, Boeing pre-market this morning.
Nice,
Um,
nice. That was a great
and
trade there.
well, thank you. So anyway, I rarely trade pre-market, and that kind of took my mind off of as much news as I usually do. But we've hit a lot of the points, and let's just go to the room.
Okay, you got it, man. All right, guys. Hopefully on YouTube we sound a little bit better. Let's take a look at what you guys have and what you guys like this morning. Let's start with YouTube, then we'll come into our chat and see what you guys are are looking at today. Again, it's a lot to look at. It's a lot on here that's green. So let's take a look at JD by Jeff, see what's happening there. So JD right now, again, it is up 2% at the moment. JD is one of those stocks, man, that I love to trade. When it's in play, it can trade very clean. Right now, the volume is a little bit light, but I won't put it past us just yet. And this thing can get going. The market is strong, so it tends to on some days follow what the market is doing. Right now, we're up almost 2%. The volume just needs to get a little better there. But JD is one of those stocks that when it is in play, it can trade very clean. So we'll keep an eye on it. Look at it yesterday, by the way. I'm not sure if anybody watched it yesterday, but look at this was a sleeper. Definitely no action. Look at the pre-market here, nothing going on, and just a beautiful drop here. A nice opening range breakdown and never look back after that. Look at that, no green candles. These are all 5 minutes here. Nothing green all the way until down here. So again, nice big, nice drop there on that one. Let's take a look at AMD, our buddy. AMD at the moment, it's got some good pre-market. It is a 1.2 million shares traded, so we definitely got some really good volume out of this. We are down 2.3 this morning. Again, they had earnings last night, right? Yeah, they had earnings last night. Look at the drop here, guys. Huge drop going from
They
56
got smoked.
to 52, and then most importantly on the daily losing this great level they have for some time. So I think AMD might be worth watching today. Looks like they're trying to do a little comeback here. They are slightly trying to get above back to that previous day close line, so we'll see what develops out of that out of AMD this morning. Let's look at USO, guys. We really don't take a look at again, this is
It's that's a reverse split, I believe. So
oh, it is okay. Let's pull it up.
yeah.
All right, so here we go. So we
So
got a
it's
reverse split.
in other words, it's essentially worthless.
Right. Quick story. I remember when I first started trading before I joined Bearboot Traders and started learning how to actually trade.
You woke up one morning and thought you were rich, is my guess.
Yes, because the unrealized P&L was not yet updated. And it showed this incredible unrealized. I guess while they're going through the process, your platform doesn't update. And I'm here clapping. I'm like, oh man, I figured this out. A few hours later, when the market opened, actually shows the real P&L. I was down a couple of bucks there. So it's just again, you don't know what you don't know, right? So here, reverse split, guys. Not looking, not something that we would trade. So we'll skip on that one. Let's look at Starbucks and look at WW. Let's look at Starbucks this morning. See what we have there. Starbucks. All right, so Starbucks today we have it's starting to get going here in the pre-market. 110 right now. Daily looks a little bit interesting. Again, a couple pretty much close flat yesterday after doing this range from 80 to 77. We're back at that previous day close line, just slightly above it. Looking at it, if I had to bet, it looks like it wants to break out of this. Again, this is a very strong move here, so it can be interesting. But right now, the volume is not all that exciting at the moment. But it can get going. This is a good possible, and I'm going to add it for that because I do like the way the daily is showing some strength in this area here after bouncing back from 77 twice. With the market strong, this could be a sleeper today. We'll take a look at that one in a few minutes. Let's look at what's the next one we had on here? INO. We'll take a look at INO. See what that thing is up to. So INO again right now, some good volume, 1.4 million shares traded, but this is typical INO action. Again, they usually have great volume. They've been very active over the last couple of days. They are dropping down here now a bit after being up as high as 1540. We're down to 1410. We're still up 2.6 on this stock, and the daily is still showing very strong signals here. Even after having a couple of red days, you can see here the bounce on this. So we can definitely take a look at INO. Again, I prefer not to watch this stock. I think it trades a little bit. I'm sorry, INO, not NEO. Let's change that. INO. There we go. I prefer not to trade this stock, but again, it can be a good one if it's not as crazy as it is usually at the open. Let's look at SPOT, and then we'll go into our chat. SP spot this morning. What do we have here? We have some a nice pop on here. SPOT. So we got a nice pop on it, but the pre-market, man, is so dead, and also the volume is not there. So again, this is Spotify, not the easiest stock to trade, and for the most part, they trade very, very light volume for most days. Look at it on a regular basis, 1.8 million shares traded. So that creates a really hard intraday activity to actually read. The price action is not as clean. So again,
I've never taken a trade on Spotify that I didn't regret.
Yeah, me neither. I have not taken a trade on this thing. It's just very difficult. So with that said, guys, I'm going to skip on this one. Hector in our chat room, the spread can be crazy. Yes, the spread, even at the open, it's crazy now. Even at the open, it can be very wild. And again, that's due to the light volume, I'm assuming. It's just not a great stock. All right, let's see what we have in our chat here, guys. So we have Oxy from William. Let's take a look at that. Oxy this morning coming back nicely here. We have tons of levels towards the bottom, a lot of support. This morning there are 500,000 shares traded. Again, this might not be the best one to trade today just because we have so many other stocks that are trading so clean. But again, if you want to watch anything in this area, in this sector of the oils and stuff like that, this is a good one to watch. It tends to trade cleaner than everything else that we have out there. AMC this morning. This one is gapping up 12.3. Not the best pre-market activity, but we do got some great volume and a nice pop here. So worth keeping an eye on. We'll take a look at that. Let's take a look at Delta. Oh, we skipped Delta on the airlines. Yes, we did. Let's take a look at Delta. Nice big pop. So here's Delta right now, up 5.8. Let's take a look at what the other airlines are doing. So we have American, also got the same pop. JetBlue, United. So very similar. Now on Delta, looking at this one, they got some really good volume. This should be in our gappers list. How did we miss it? Oh yeah, it is right here. So they got some good volume as well. I think you cannot go wrong with any of these airlines. We'll throw it on here. We'll pick the best one out of all 4 or 5 that we have on our list right here. Again, so this is pretty heavy on airlines and cruise lines. We'll pick the best ones out of all of these, but I think you cannot go wrong. They're all looking very good this morning. Let's look at Facebook, and then we'll look at Facebook today is gapping up as well. Hold on a second. Let's get Delta out of the way and look at Facebook. So Facebook, again, popping up as well here, 4%, some good volume. Pre-market activity starting to look very active with some really good candles here right now. So we can take a look at that one later as well. And let's look at BBBY. It was active yesterday. Let's see what kind of action we're getting this morning on BBBY. Yeah, not the best pre-market right now. Does have volume, but again, you're not getting a good flow of things here in the pre-market as we're getting on some of these other stocks. All right, guys, we got a very giant list. We're gonna have to fine tune this a little bit and filter some stuff out. Let's go over to announcements. We'll come back and dissect this list a little bit further. Let's get you over here
For sure. Just a reminder, guys, that we've got our market close on Wall Street show going on each day, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern with Mike, Peter, and Brian. Talk about earnings after the close and what happens going into the closing bell. I apologize for the screen being messed up. We'll get that fixed. Yeah, so tune in on YouTube, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern. Guys, we got an amazing success webinar tonight in the webinar room, and we'll be live streaming it on YouTube at the same time. It will not be recorded, from my understanding, and to remain on YouTube, but it will be live. So tune in, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You get notified when it comes up. But we've got Dr. Brett Steenbarger, world-renowned trading psychologist and author, and Mike Bellafiore, co-founder S&B Capital, author of The Playbook and One Good Trade. They're going to be talking about collective learning in a trading community and how S&B Capital mentors their new traders. Next week, 8 p.m. is Andrew. He's going to be talking about how he uses moving averages in his trading. Last night was Mike's Module 2 on psychology. That should be up in the Psychology Center here pretty soon. Next week, we've got our own in-house psychologist, Dr. Jonathan Katz, discussing how to maintain balance. That'll be Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24 to get a discount off the intro membership. That's 1 week in the chat. Access to some of our educational materials, which includes our Class 1 onboarding that we have each Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, just a couple of days left on this. If you'd like to upgrade your membership or you're looking to become a member, you can do so with 40% off. Use the promo code EarthDay when you check out for the one-time payment lifetime membership. Okay. That's all I got, buddy.
All right, thanks, man. All right, guys. So let's get to it. Let's see what we have here. Let's start with this list. Let's start by looking at what airlines and cruise lines we're going to keep here. So here's NCLH. Here's CCL. They all look pretty good. RCL. I think for the most part, I'm going to keep CCL on here. I'm going to take off RCL. The volume is a little bit lighter on this one, so let's remove this one right now. Out of NCL and CCL, they both look really good, guys. You cannot go wrong with any of these. So whatever you decide to pick, they both look perfectly fine, guys. I'm going to keep CCL for today. I'm going to take NCLH out of the way. But again, they both look really good. Some really good volume out of both of those stocks this morning. Let's reduce their airline. So we have a Spirit here starting to look a lot better now, getting some more volume. That's good. American Airlines with some really good volume. So I'm going to get rid of Spirit because American Airlines looks completely better. By the way, here's JBL starting to get going. Nice pop. United Airlines, I think out of American Airlines is looking good. JBL, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of JBL again. Not being picky now, guys, just to reduce our list. All these stocks look amazing, so you can, if you like to trade JBL, you have some success with that stock, you can definitely watch it. But I'm gonna remove it just because we have to reduce this list a little bit. So here's American Airlines, and out of United, I think United looks good, but American has the volume. You know, they're trading 2.5 right now, nice big pop. So I'm gonna get rid of UAL. UAL could be a good possible. So I'll keep an eye on it. Let's throw it down here. Let's make some room towards the bottom. and we can add UAL as a good possible in case you American Airlines not trading as well. Here's Delta. Delta's another one as well, guys. It's also looking good. Actually, looking at Delta and comparing it to UAL, I'm sorry, American Airlines. Uh, yeah, they're I'm nitpicking. So they're both great, guys. All the airlines are great. I'm gonna keep American Airlines. I'm gonna get rid of Delta. All right, so here we fine tune that. At least get that out of the way. Let's look at Zoom. Zoom is good, guys. It's down nicely today, 4.4 with some good volume. Again, losing this area of resistance, so we'll keep an eye on that one. APRNA, a nice big drop, guys. This thing has been doing almost nothing for the last couple of weeks. It's kind of flat here. So we got a good drop today, down 24%. I definitely want to take a look at that. Right now, we do have shares for short. Let's see how that continues. mRNA, this one I'm on the fence on. What I like about it on the daily is that, again, this level here, we're kind of battling right now, right? So let's create some opportunities. If we can lose that, it can go on a nice run towards the bottom here, down to 46. Again, a lot of congestion towards the top here in regards to levels and area of resistance. So this could be interesting. Again, down 2.2% right now with some decent volume. Pre-market not as great, but I do like the drop on mRNA this morning. CCL, we looked at this is good. American Airlines, we looked at that's good. Gilt is back in play, not doing much right now. We're going to throw this down over here as a possible. This one was halted. Again, it's a lot going on with Gilt, guys. If you guys remember, this thing had a big drop on some news that was released that was not all that accurate, then rebounded again, and they're just kind of stuck here pretty much flat right now. So we'll just keep an eye on it in case it's going to some news is going to be released, going to be some explosion out of it. Want to be a part of it. Here's BA this morning. Norm traded this at the pre-market here. I'm assuming he probably went long somewhere in this area here or probably here. Norm, what did you take this trade long, by the way? What time frame?
It was right after they released earnings. 134.37 was my first entry.
Nice.
Scaled out most. I added on that dip. Gilead just opened after that news. They're popping up 10%. So that's interesting right there.
Yeah, so here it is. Oh, very nice.
That'll
Look
definitely
at
be in
this.
play today.
Yeah, we're gonna upgrade this to our main list over here. So Gilead is definitely worth watching, guys. Look at this pop. Wow. Wow.
Fly, baby, fly.
There we go.
The stock's disappointed me for years.
I know you're in this one for the long term here, so this is good. You need this
Yeah,
to go on to
I have a good chunk of Gilead stock with dividend reinvestments in a retirement account, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger
yeah.
because of that, despite being a terrible investment.
So we'll see what that does, guys. BA, again, great pre-market activity right now, guys. Good volume, so we like that one. JD is pretty much flat right now. This could be a good one, guys, but I'm going to remove it. Again, not doing all that much, under 100,000. Here's AMD's got some good volume. I like that one. Starbucks at the moment starting to get going here. Did do a move from red to green this morning, so that's nice. And again, the daily on a Starbucks looks really good, guys, so we'll keep an eye on that one. INO, again, this stock is so unstable. I am going to put this down here as a possible. We'll do levels for it, but what I'm seeing over here with the rest of these stocks, we have some really good players this morning that we're going to focus on. And obviously, Gilead is in here. AMC at the moment. You know what, AMC? I recall having some really bad trades on AMC, and the reason is the stock doesn't trade all that well. So although it has volume, it's a stock that's not as clean. So let's throw it down here as a possible, guys. We still got to reduce this list even further down, but at least we'll have a nice group of tickers to watch this morning. So quick recap: Zoom, APRNA looks decent, not the favorite one this morning. mRNA, CCL, American Airlines we have here. BA, AMD's looking good here. Starbucks and Gilead. So let's get into this and start doing some levels this morning. Let's start with Zoom, guys. This one is a good one that's dropping down nicely. Low of the pre-market sitting here at 148, so we'll mark that down. A good area of support happening here. We got some areas, some days consolidating that used this as support in the past couple of weeks. Towards the bottom, if we lose that, we got a clean level down to 138.59. So a good area here. We can find some support in there. Right below the low of the pre-market, we do have a moving average on there as well. Guys, towards the top, plenty of levels. You see some resistance already here that we broke out of a couple of days ago, and then came right back to this 155 area, and now we're dropping down nicely. Pre-market high is a little bit above that, over at 159. You can mark that down, but again, you got some pretty good levels on Zoom here. So interesting to see how this is going to play out this morning. So Zoom is good, guys, down this morning. Here's APRNA. I'm sorry, APRN, excuse me. This one is down 23%. So I love this drop here. It went from not doing much and being very choppy to just being dropped down here 23%. Low of the pre-market 939 is an area where you can clearly see you had a lot of support back in the end of last month, end of March, right on. You can see several days just bouncing off of that 930, 940 area. If we lose that level, guys, the next big drop that we have here could be a 745. Just be aware there is a moving average right in here between the low of the pre-market and 745. So just be aware of that. Actually, it might be a good place to mark it down because it's kind of midpoint of where this drop is, and also where this we had this beautiful gap up, right? So we gapped up here nicely, was strong for this day here into this mess happened over here. So again, interesting one this morning, guys. Down quite a bit. Pre-market is looking good. Volume is looking great. It's just, is it going to trade well in the intraday? So that's my issue with this stock in itself. It could be choppy, so I'm going to put it down as a possible, but we have our levels for it ready to go in case it's going to be a good one for the day. Here's a mRNA, guys. So plenty of levels towards the top. We have 49.08. We have the highs and lows from the last two trading days. We have 52.81. 54.79 and 56.36. I don't think we're looking to head in that direction today, as we're slightly weak this morning, trying to come back and get above that green. But towards the bottom, guys, we do have a level here, low of the pre-market hitting at 46. So I'm going to mark that down. Below that, we do have an area down at 44.66, and then down all the way here at a 43.20. So plenty of levels here on mRNA. Right now, it's just kind of deciding what it wants to do here. Here is CCL, guys. So again, nice big pop on CCL. This stock is really, really strong right now, sitting at a nice area of a level here that was prior resistance, the pre-market high at 15.92. Above that, we do have an area here at 17, and another price level here at 19 when we had this huge comeback all the way to this 19, and then we had the drop again. Towards the bottom, your pre-market low is sitting at 15.02, so I'm going to mark that down. And then below that, guys, plenty of nice levels based on the last two trading days, highs and lows, and you also have the previous day close. So again, looks like we're going to be hitting this 15.97 pretty soon here, which is an area of resistance we had over here. Again, guys, it's really, really strong. Some really good volume. We're going to be hitting 3 million shares definitely before we get to the open here on CCL. Here's American Airlines also gapping up nicely, 8% this morning after all these stocks having a great day yesterday as well. High of our pre-market on American Airlines is 12.30. Above that, we do have a level here at 12.68, and then all the way up here at 13.38. Similar to CCL, guys, towards the bottom, the highs and lows from the last two trading days got you covered. Previous day closed right on there as well. You can see some good areas of support this morning. Pre-market is very nice. As you can see, beautiful pop here, holding very well. And again, just a great pre-market activity out of American Airlines. Again, if you're watching another one, you can watch United Airlines, you can watch Delta, you can watch... what's the other one? I think Spirit was not all that good, and JetBlue were not all that great. But you got some options here on which one to watch. They all look very, very good. Here is BA, guys. So BA very active. BA 2.5 million shares traded. Just look at the volume. The volume here is quite heavy on BA this morning. We have a 140.75 is the high of the pre-market. Above that, we do have this great moving average coming in here at 143. Now, if you look at the daily here, guys, you don't have great levels in between this area here, between where your 143 is and between this area here, right? So it's a lot of chop within these daily charts. Again, it wasn't trading all that great even before that on the daily. Since this drop here has been trading pretty amazing. And if you look at the intraday, it has been pretty clean. If you look at the pre-market, it has been pretty clean. So the next level above this pre-market high that looks very clean and clear, it's going to be this 155, guys, above this moving average. So 155.51 is a great area there. You have several days banging their heads against that price level. Here's AMD's trying to come back right now. Pre-market showing 1.5 million shares traded. This one's still down 2%, so still a week for the most part. High of the pre-market is sitting right at 54.80. So let's mark that down. It looks like we're testing that now. Let's see if we want to break up here, or are we going to have a rejection off that pre-market high. Again, they had earnings last night and they did not treat them well, as you can see here. The huge drop after hours. Low of the pre-market sitting at 53.70. But towards the bottom, guys, we do have some areas here from yesterday's drop. Going to mark down. This 52.42 is a great area to have on here. Again, we've definitely bounced from there nicely, so you definitely want to have that on your list. In between there, you do have a moving average around 53. Look out for that whole dollar as well. And then if we decide to lose that level at 52.42, we do have one right on here at 51.50. So plenty of levels on AMD. Very active this morning after what we saw yesterday. after hours. Let's see how it wants to settle in. Again, getting a nice rejection here, 54.80 at the moment, and some really good volume coming in. Here is Starbucks right now. Again, Starbucks on the daily looks interesting. It's not looking all that explosive at the moment though, so I am going to bring it down over to a possible. But let's do some levels, guys, because I do like the way this daily is setting up here. We are showing some signs of strength here. Both days, both last two trading sessions, you can see here we have a nice pop, right? So kind of closing flat after dropping down to this level of support. So this seems to be a good area here. We tested it this morning again in the pre-market low, and yesterday as well. So right now your pre-market high is trying to break out of the high from yesterday, and it's hitting this 80.05. So let's mark that down here. Let's see if this is going to continue to be strong. Again, a good possible for today, guys. A nice move here from red to green above that previous day close line. We left off at Gilead. This is the last one on this list. So again, nice, beautiful pop, guys. It was halted for news earlier today. News has come out, and now we have a 10% pop this morning that seems to be somewhat holding. Let's see if we can continue to head higher. High of the pre-market, 87.66. Your low is sitting right between these areas of highs and lows. Previous day close. I'm not going to mark it down. It's already marked down here for you. You got plenty of support within this 80 to 78 level right on there. So volume is nice right now, guys. 2.7 million shares traded. So it tells you this is very active this morning. We do have a level here at 85, 90 or so. We want to mark that down. We do have another one down here towards the bottom at 84. And you have several days opening and closing around this 82.13. Now towards the top, guys, I don't think we have been up here for some time. Let's just take a look at what's happening on our weekly here. Yeah, see, we're getting to a nice area of resistance. The next big pop here off the weekly is going to be this 89.60. So if we get above that, it's the last time the last most recent time we've been to this area, right? So we haven't been up here in quite some time, guys. This is going back, by the way, to looks like January 2018. So again, there's been some time since we have been up in this area for Gilead, so worth taking a look at. Again, very active this morning after releasing news. Nice big pop. All right, let's look at the possibles we have. APRNA, we got some levels for that already. United is another good one as well, guys. If you're watching that one, we can do some levels for this as well. Towards the top, the high of the pre-market right now sitting at 29.29. So let's see if we can get going from there. And another great level here over at 32 again. So United is another one you can watch as well. INO is one that, let's do some levels for this one that's been very active. Just be cautious with this one, guys. High of the pre-market 15.47 towards the bottom. Previous day close basically sitting right at the low of the pre-market this morning, and you do have some levels down here over around 12.70 highs and lows from the last two trading days got you covered as well. So here's INO, guys. A pre-market right now is looking clean. It's looking very, very clean. I wish this was the open. Usually the open is a lot more wild and aggressive, and it's very difficult to take trades. But again, good pre-market activity with usually some really good volume. So we'll keep that one as a possible. AMC, guys, this one we do have your highs and lows got you covered towards the bottom. Some good support. Here's your previous day close line, very close to the low of the pre-market. And then above that, your new pre-market highs is hitting that 489. So we can mark that down there. Above that, guys, we do have an area here at 561. Again, good possible. Right now, I'm not seeing anything great out of it besides the volume at 682. And hopefully this pre-market activity can get better. But we do got some really good ones up here today, guys, in our main list that hopefully can provide us a very good opportunity right at the open. All right, that is all I have, guys. We have some more time. Norm, anything you have on your end that you like? And I see you have your risk manager there making sure things are good with that BA trade.
Yeah, he's taken away all my buying power for the day. Now that he knew I traded in the pre-market.
Yeah.
No, I'm just watching Boeing. I've still got a little bit left in my position there, so I'm gonna hang on to it, see what happens if it hangs above VWAP. I know the CEO's on CNBC right now, so.
Gotcha. I see a lot of people pointing out GE this morning. GE does have a good pre-market. Look at the volume, 14 million shares on GE. This stock just trades a lot of volume. It's very heavy in that area. Pre-market looks great, guys. The issue with GE that we usually have, it doesn't move as much. Now, I'm not sure if there's any news behind it, Norm. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. But again, if you're looking at it, it's a great pre-market activity, and it's got some range to it, which usually does not have. So as far as levels, I think you pretty much got the highs and lows from the last two trading days. You can get another pop all the way up here around 725. But again, for GE to go from 670 to 725, it could be an all-day event to get that. So so Clayton is sharing that they're filing for bankruptcy. I'm surprised they're not bankrupt already. But again, we'll have to see. But again, looking at the technicals, the pre-market looks good, guys. It's just we have so many other good ones here today that are so active this morning. I'm definitely not going to move it up to our main list. It could be impossible. All right, what else we have, guys? So what do we think about MDGS? We looked at this one before. MDGS. Let's take a look at what is looks like this morning. MDGS. Yeah, not much happening here, guys. No volume. It's more of a penny stock, and again, I wouldn't be involved in this type of stock at all. So just stay away from this. This is scary looking. So BA is good, guys. Yes, Bayo in YouTube. We do have BA on our list. I think BA is looking very good this morning. It has a great pre-market activity. It has some really good volume. You cannot go wrong with BA. Hitting this rejection here at 140, so it's rejecting that level right now. But BA is good for the day. Definitely something you want to keep. So we don't have NC. Let's pull it up. We do not have NCLH on our list, but this is a good one. I kept CCL instead, but you can go with NCLH. That's not a problem at all. This one also looks good. I'm just not going to watch all these cruise lines and take up real estate on the watch list that I'm watching. So you can watch this one also, guys. It's very active. A nice pop, 11.2 this morning, some good volume. So yeah, you can pick between this one. RCL was the only one out of the cruise lines that did not really look all that exciting. But starting to get a little bit better, guys. Look, starting to get a little bit better now, but has the less volume out of all of these. But again, even this one, if you're a slower paced trader and you want to, take your time and you're not looking for it to move as crazy, this could be a good one as well, right? So it's all about the pattern. So it's got a good pre-market pattern right now. It's got a good range. The volume is just a lot less than CCL. So that's why I'm keeping CCL this morning. WW, I've seen a few people mention that one. Let's take a look at WW this morning. This one, what do we have? It is gapping up 13%, guys. The volume is a little bit lighter. This used to be Weight Watchers, but now it's WW International. Again, just a very light volume on this stock, guys. And over the last couple of days, you've seen how light the volume has been. So again, I don't expect anything too crazy out of this one this morning. It has a nice big pop of 13%. This is the type of stock, guys, that you don't even put in your secondary. You just have it ready to switch to if it hits its scanners, right? So we're watching our turbo breakup scanners, turbo breakdown. We're watching there's a new scanner that Andrew has now that shows when something is very active with some significant volume as well. So you look for that to pop up there. But right now, it's going to be hard for you to have this stock to take up space in your main watch list. So just keep that in mind. Again, you don't have to have everything on your watch list, but you can look at the scanners to help you out and assist you in this, if something is moving that you're not watching. Here's a Spirit. So Spirit looks good, guys. Again, but I just think American Airlines has the volume. Look at the pre-market on American Airlines right now. This is amazing ABCD pattern forming here on the 5 in the pre-market. So looking forward to see how that's going to be at the open. But you cannot go wrong with Save, right? So again, we can all have completely different watch lists today, watching different cruise lines and different airlines, and still have an amazing watch list to watch this morning. So this is where you start being a little bit picky. If you have some experience trading Spirit and you did well and you like this price range, you can go with that one. If you want something a little bit more expensive, you can go with I think UAL is a little more expensive, right? Yeah, so you can pick and choose here and make it your own based on your criteria. Let's look at Microsoft this morning. Let's see what's going on there. Microsoft. See what's happening. Whoops, excuse me. MS. There we go. Yeah, Microsoft, you know what? It's kind of moving with the market. I'm not aware of any news on it, but again, I'm not seeing anything all that crazy out of it right now. What I don't like about the daily is kind of stuck within this range right now between the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. We got some other ones that are looking a lot better. That got some kind of a little bit of some room to run here. So again, just not a fan of it right now. All right, guys, 9:17, 13 minutes to the market open. We are going to sign off here and fine-tune our list. Let's see what everybody else is watching today. So Peter has AMD, American Airlines, and all airlines, right? So he's prioritizing American Airlines, but he'll be looking out for United, Spirit, and any other airlines that might get going today. He is looking at GE. Again, GE's got some activity today. It's got a beautiful pre-market action right now, so he's looking at that. As his secondary, BA, Guild, IRBT, JMPR, Zoom, and CCL. Did we look at Zoom? Yeah, we have Zoom right on here. So Zoom is good, guys. And then here we have Thor's list, BA, AMD, all. Is it all or American Airlines? I think you probably mean American Airlines. But let's just check all. No, you probably mean American Airlines.
Yep. No, it's AAL.
Oh, yeah, see his next message after that. And then he's watching CCL. So, again, look at this list, guys. 4 stocks, BA, AMD, all in CCL. And then look at Peter's list. Again, he's watching 3 main ones, and he has a great secondary list. So, good stuff there, guys. And Norm, I think you're watching, you're pretty much done for the day. You hit go, so you're going to be not watching much right now.
I'm just gonna nurse this Boeing position and maybe call it quits and hang out with my son, other than my time on the mic in the room.
That's a great idea. Guys, thank you so much on YouTube today. We will figure out why my mic is lower than what it is. So we'll figure that out today for sure. But thanks again for joining us this morning. We know we have options. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here at BBT. So we'll come back tomorrow for another day of trading. Good morning. Is that Brian that I hear in the back?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Brian, how you
Good morning,
doing?
everybody?
Come on, Brian.
Well, we're doing good. Very good.
Brian, we're still on YouTube. Any stocks you like this morning you want to share with our YouTube friends?
I was looking at Apron 2 for a possible short trade, trading down in the market. So that's something I'm looking at as well here.
Yeah, I see that down 23% this morning.
But
it's a big drop on this.
The only issue I have right now is IB only has 5,000 shares of stock apparently left on the short availability list. So that may disappear quite quickly. Whoa, AMD's popping up here. So yeah, definitely AMD is looking interesting. It's probably going to come ripping back here, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, AMD. Yeah, we do have that one here as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Brian is going to take over now in the chat and kind of go over his list and what he likes. And then Andrew will join later and kind of see what his list is going to look like. So take care, guys. See you tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.